Hey, what's going on guys? Timsy here, and in today's video, we're going to go over 20 Azami spots on the map Oregon. And if you guys stick around to the end, I'll let you guys know how you can see 20 more Azami spots on Oregon as well. But anyways, let's get into the video. So starting off with spot number 1, you're going to rotate to big window, use this lamp as a lineup, and then you're going to go ahead and throw your Azami on the edge of the bunk bed. This will allow you to rotate from top white to big window without being exposed to that big window. But it also creates a pixel peak that you can use to contest the trophy door. If you guys crouch on the right hand side of the bunk bed, you can see the trophy door from here. And from the attacker's point of view, this is a very hard angle to fight back from because it's such a small angle and you're not really that exposed. Now the next spot is going to be for the kid's doorway. So typically you place a shield in front of the kid's door. This allows you to contest that trophy door with some safety. So if for whatever reason you forget to bring a shield or you lose your shield, you can use an Azami barrier as a replacement to still help contest that trophy door. Although you don't have the windows slits in between the shield to watch the trophy door, you still have a little bit of cover to play behind, and this works for big window as well. You can sort of tuck in the corner and then use the Azami barrier to contest that big window. Now this next one's going to be for the attic. So typically you make a rotation hole from kids to attic, and I'm going to make some feet holes across the right hand side. This one is going to be blocking a line of sight to help you hold attic drop. So when the attackers are pushing attic and they're trying to peek into kids to try to take the gunfight in order to drop attic, they're going to be blocked by this line of sight. They have to use some utility. They can't melee this, and this will allow you to prone in the back of kids to watch the attic drop. You can also see the bottom of their feet underneath that wall, so this gives you the ability to take that gunfight without being exposed whatsoever. Now the next spot is going to be for top white, so of course we need to make a rotation hole here, and rotating up top white stairs to the top white rotate here can be a little bit scary or a little bit unsafe whenever the attackers are on that trophy doorway. So we're going to set up a barrier to allow us to rotate up pretty safely and also contest that trophy door behind a lot of bulletproof cover. You can also use this to contest the breach once the attackers do get the breach open. So it's not only used for the trophy door. As you guys can see, you can rotate and watch the closet door if the wall does get open. This can also be used in the other direction, so if the attackers are coming up top white stairs, or if the attackers are on big window, you can simply go into games and then contest the other direction, so you can simply watch the white stairs from here, as well as watching the big window hop in from this same position. Moving on to spot number 5, we're going to set up a barrier in front of the kid's window. Attackers like to repel kid's window early into the round to try and catch a defender off guard. So we're going to block this window entirely and make sure that they can't cover that rotation. So you're going to use the light bulbs above the kid's window and then use a second barrier at the bottom of this. This will block the entire kid's window while also not allowing the attackers to actually melee this. They have to use some sort of utility in order to destroy the barrier. And at that point, you should have enough audio cue to make sure you're not in front of that kid's window. And this doesn't really block anything inside of kids. This actually helps you a little bit with the boost angle in the back of kids to watch the attic pit drop, since you have a little bit of cover in front of you in case the attackers do pre-fire this angle. But overall, it doesn't block anything inside of kids except the window. So this next one's going to be an alternative big window barrier that you can use. So you're going to use the shelf on the left hand side here. Make sure that you prone throw your kunai on the middle edge of the shelf there in front of you, and this will allow you to contest the trophy door from big window while also having a good amount of coverage so you don't immediately just get shot from that trophy doorway. And from the attacker's point of view, you have about 3 different angles that you can sort of peek from the defender's side, so you have to try to worry about a pixel on the right, peeking above, or peeking the left hand side of this barrier. And the great thing about this barrier is it can be used to contest the big window. So if you are playing kid's doorway and the attackers are pushing a big window, you can simply play behind that barrier and face big window and help you contest anybody trying to jump in. Now, making our way downstairs, we're going to set up some head holes across the freezer wall, as you should when defending this objective, and we're going to pair that with a barrier at the bottom of these head holes. This will allow you to have sort of a shield in front of you when playing these head holes, so you can contest the head holes and then crouch behind some cover, and you don't get shot through the soft portion of the wall underneath these head holes. And this can be done pretty much anywhere on any map that you would make head holes. For example, you can use this on E-Box as well. Whenever you open up the E-Box wall, you can pair that with a barrier underneath it, and this will allow you to contest these head holes again with a lot of cover. And this is great for someone playing pillars because they can crouch behind that barrier from a distance and then still use that to sort of peek towards the construction door. Now this next one's going to be for freezer hallways. So if you throw a kunai and you're standing within the radius of it expanding, you actually will stop it from expanding for that certain portion of the wall. So in this case, you're going to go ahead and lean right and throw your kunai on the top left corner of that locker and block a portion of the wall from actually forming. And this will allow you to still contest the bottom freezer stairs. You can still boost on top of this box to again contest the bottom freezer stairs, but the attackers don't have a crucial line of sight. So typically they walk all the way down freezer, and then they will try to walk up and vault onto the box to watch the laundry rotate. So they'll be peeking over this locker. So this blocks that line of sight, so you can actually still rotate through laundry relatively safely speaking, considering you do have those head holes. And this blocks pretty much the only line of sight that the attackers can get there, while also allowing you on defense to still peek all of the different angles that you still have available. Now, moving on from there, we're going to set up 8 shield-facing pillars. So if the attackers take full backside control, they get construction, they get tower, they get pillar. It's going to be hard to contest this hallway because somebody can just sit on the pillar door and then just watch all the way down the hallway. So we're going to place a barrier inside of laundry facing pillars so that you can use this to help you contest that long hallway and apply some pressure once the attackers get that full back control. Now, this next spot is going to be pretty simple. We're going to set up a barrier to block the line of sight that the tower stairs gets onto pillars. So we're going to go ahead and throw it on the bottom center of that little wall there. And this forces the attackers to destroy this before they can even walk down the big tower stairs, sort of like Barb in a way. And it blocks their line of sight towards pillars. And it actually gives the defender a really good line of sight. You can see the bottom half of the attacker before they even walk down the tower stairs. And you can use this in combination with the pillar holes. If you may open up that pillar single wall and play back inside of the supply room, you can use this to still again contest that angle just from a deeper portion of the map and still contest the bottom half of that attacker as they're walking down those stairs. When you're playing basement, it's pretty common to play a shield inside of elbow, so we're going to pair that with a barrier on the tarp doorway. So we're going to place it on the right hand side, just a little bit lower to make a shield on the tarp door. This will allow you to contest the construction double door from inside of tarp, and you can place your ADSs and WMI discs in front of this on the left hand side of the door frame in order to block this barrier from being destroyed. Now, this next barrier is going to be for late round. So once the attackers get elbow control, they open up the side wall, they have pillars control. We're going to use this sort of as a late round shield in a way, and we're going to place this on the right hand side of the freezer doorway. So once they get all of that control, it's very hard to contest the supply room breach from the freezer doorway. And you can use this to have a little bit of cover and peek a few different angles to help you contest that breach. And you can also use this to help you contest pillars. And you can even see the typical default plant spot that's near the bomb chassis from inside of here as well without being exposed to any extra angles. Now, moving away from the basement over to kitchen and meeting, we're going to set up a barrier to contest the dining doorway. So if the attackers are doing a west side push and they're trying to take small tower and dining, we're going to place a barrier on the edge of this cabinet to help us contest that dining doorway from inside of green hallway, because typically they don't push green hallway if they are pushing towards dining. So you should be able to play here and contest not only the breach, but also that dining doorway. Now, another spot inside of kitchen and meeting is going to be for the right side split. So once the attackers get the wall open, it's pretty hard to play inside of meeting. There's not so many areas you can really play except behind a couple sandbags. So we're going to place a barrier on the right side split here on the top left corner of the bench, and this will let you play inside of split and rotate between left and right side split while also contesting the breach once it does get open. You can even open up the bookshelf on the right hand side to give you a little bit better of an angle on the people that are outside of the breach, and you can also watch that green door walk in to stage and contest that and make sure they don't go for a plant. Now, this next spot is going to be for those of you who like to play behind the bomb chassis in this corner here. It's relatively safe if you give yourself a couple ADSs. It's a good way to help you contest the plant as well as that meeting breach. So we're going to place a Kiba barrier on the bomb chassis right there, and we have another one to block the attic hatch. So you're going to go ahead and be able to use this to swing the breach. You can even vault up on top of the sandbag if you line up correctly to then get a little bit of an elevated angle to peek over this wall if they start walking through the breach. Now, the only downside of this is if the attackers get the attic control and open up that attic hatch. So we're going to use a barrier to block that line of sight. Now, you do want to be careful because it doesn't block the entire line of sight. They can still see part of your feet if you walk too far forward. So make sure you are hugging the west wall or you're on the boost angle on top of the sandbags right here. Now, moving on to kitchen and dining, we're going to make a rotation hole into showers, which is good to make anyways when you're playing this objective, because you want to contest showers as long as possible. So we're going to place a barrier behind the locker here, and you're going to be able to use this to contest not only the showers wall when it gets open, as well as the showers hallway as they start pushing up. And you can place your ADSs and WMI discs on the left-hand side of the showers wall, sort of tucked in that corner to block any sort of utility coming to try and destroy this barrier. Now, when you're defending this objective, the white stairs window is annoying to deal with since the attackers pretty much have a line of sight to the middle of the objective, so we're going to place a barrier to block that line of sight. So we're going to shoot the door frame, hug the edge of the door frame, and this will allow you to block the bottom edge of the circle from forming, so you can use that to prone and see the feet of the attackers as they vault into that white window. And just to show you from the attacker's point of view outside of the white window, it blocks that showers hall to dining door line of sight that they typically get. So this allows you to sort of rotate around the objective relatively safely, and if you are at least inside of Showers hallway, you can use this to prone and again see the attacker's feet as they are vaulting into that white stairs window. Now the only downside of this one is if you are walking up to this barrier to contest the white window, if the attackers are close enough, they're going to be able to see your feet before you really see them, so you do want to be careful when playing this angle, but this blocks the line of sight that is necessary when rotating around inside of the objective. Now, moving on from there, we're going to set up a barrier inside of security. So playing inside of security when defending this objective is pretty important, considering the attackers can do a meeting side push and push the green hallway into kitchen. So we're going to make a rotation hole with some head holes across the security wall, and then we're going to pair that with a Kiba barrier so that we can play inside of security while also being able to contest that green doorway behind sort of a shield in this case, as well as the meeting wall if it does get opened. So you want to make sure you make these head holes and place this barrier to help you contest that northeast or east side push of the map. Now, moving on from there, we're going to set up a barrier inside of dining. So once the attackers get all of small tower control, they're going to be able to contest the dining doorway or the dining wall if it does get opened, and there's nowhere safe to play inside of dining. So we're going to place a barrier on the top corner of this chair. Make sure you throw it exactly where I did. It'll create this little pixel peak on the top of the table underneath the barrier that allows you to contest the breach just a little bit. And this allows you to walk up and sort of play inside of dining without being exposed from the dining doorway. So you can use this to contest dining door, but you ultimately can use this to sort of walk into dining to play this position to help you contest through this little pixel peak here, while also being able to swing out and around at the barrier to contest either dining door or the breach. And last but not least, I wanted to show you guys a small tower setup. Now this one is going to be a little bit risky, a little bit aggressive, but if you guys are down for it, pretty much the only two ways that the attackers can get top small tower control is going to be the two windows. So the first window you're going to deal with by making a hole underneath it to have one of your teammates watch the vault in through the small tower window here. The second window is going to be on the balcony inside of small tower, and the way we're going to be able to deal with that is going to be making a vertical hole, but I'll show you the barriers first. So we're going to place one on the top left corner of that blue box there. That'll block the small tower window from the dining doorway. Now we need to deal with the dining door this time. So we're going to place it on the top left corner of those cinder blocks in the middle of small tower. And then our last one's going to go on the top left corner facing towards dining on the same cinder blocks. So in this case, this will allow you to contest anything that you want while playing inside of small tower. You're not immediately going to be exposed to anything like the dining door, or sorry, the small tower door or the small tower window. Now from there, we're going to make a line of sight under the desk above us, which is on the balcony of small tower, that will allow you to watch the line of sight that leads to the small tower window, and you can watch the attackers vault in. All you have to do is just bring my couple ADSs to play this position. Again, it's very aggressive, but I thought I would throw it in here anyways for those of you that want to play a little bit aggressive or just try to have a little bit of fun when playing inside of small tower. If you guys made it this far into the video and would like to see 20 more Azami spots on the map Oregon, I'm going to leave a comment down below for you guys to head over to the Astralis R6 channel, where I made another video with 20 more Azami spots that you guys can check out. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you guys liked the video, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you guys don't miss a future video. You guys can expect to see more Azami spots on other maps coming up very soon. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.